All right, Computer Studies 10. The next thing we're going to learn about is going to be classes. So this is a CSS term, and we can use classes to make different kinds of styles for the same tag. So as we have it right now in CSS, all your H1s have to be the same. All your divs have to be the same. There's only one style for divs or one style for paragraphs. You can't shake it up. So what we're going to be doing is learning about the CSS rule, and there's a little bit of HTML as well, in order to produce multiple styles for the same tag. So if you want to have different divs, different images, different, you name it, we can create that through classes. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. I think we'll start with the div tag. The div tag is these big boxes, right? So I want to make it so that some of my boxes are white in the background, and maybe some of my boxes I'll just invert. I'll make the background color this gold, and I'll make the border white. So I think that'll actually look pretty terrible, but just it'll demonstrate quite clearly the difference between them, right? So the way I'm going to do that is I'll start with the HTML. So in my HTML, I'll find my divs, and let's say I'm going to make my input device div. I'm just going to press enter to give me some space here to make sure everyone can see. I'm going to put this div here. I'd like to be the white background and gold border. And this div here, I'd like to be a gold background with a white border. So that's the difference here. So I'm going to have div class equals, and then I can type in a name for this class. This is just an attribute, no different than other kinds of attributes you have in other tags. And you can just give it whatever name you want. I'm going to have this one as white, and then this one is going to be class gold. So I might also want to give this div a class as well, but I'll leave that alone and we can see what happens. Okay, so that's the story here. So now that I've created two different classes, I can go and style them separately. So I'll go over to my CSS, and the way you do that is by putting a dot. So I'm going to copy and paste. I have two divs, but I'm going to make this div dot white and this one div dot gold. So the class white divs will follow these rules, and the class gold divs will follow these rules. Right now they're the same rules, so I'm going to have to change them up. It's going to be a lot of repetition, so I actually don't want to have to say width 800 and then width 800 again. That's really annoying. So what I'm also going to do is just make some general rules for all divs to follow. So I'm still going to have a plain old div thing that will contain all the rules. So I'm going to start with just mining out all the things I'm not going to change. Like there's still going to be 800 wide. There's still going to be, got that padding. They're still going to be centered. So I'm going to put all the common stuff in the plain old div selector. The background's going to change though, and the border is going to change. But are these things going to change? Box shadow, border radius? No, they're all going to be the same. So I'm going to have all the common rules in the plain old div selector. And I'm going to get rid of them in gold. All I need in here is the background and border. Okay, so div.white will be what's new. So this is fine. I want to keep this. It's going to have background white, border that's gold. And then I'm going to switch it for the dot gold. So I'll stick that in the border, and I'll stick the gold color in the background. So now all divs will have these features. Class white divs will have these background of this border, and class gold divs will instead have this background and this border. So if I save this and refresh, we'll now see two different kinds of divs. Oh, we'll come back to that. That's pretty cool, actually. That's super cool. But check out here, your input device is white and gold, and now output device is gold and white. So there's sort of two different kinds. What happened to table of contents, though? Wow, it's all crazy. It actually looks pretty fun. I like that a lot. The fact that the background is the same, but it has a shadow. It's pretty neat technique, which we could experiment with. A happy little accident, but also not very readable. I can barely read these things. So what are we going to do about it? Well, we should probably give it a class as well. We should probably choose a class for our table of contents. Since it has no class, it's not classy. Um, it's only getting these rules, and there's no background color suggested. So we should probably choose white or gold or make a whole new one. So let's shake it up. Let's give it the class gold. And so now if I refresh, table of contents is going to follow the gold style rules, and this one will follow the white style rules. So this is just one example. You can make classes for any tag. You can have different kinds of H1s. You can have different kind of list items. You can have different kinds of links. You have different kinds of paragraphs. You have different kinds of images. You can class up any tag and create a variety of different styles to add variety to your web design. So I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with this technique. So thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon.